Core field stabilized. Intaro Adun.
Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today, going to be a PvT featuring Ample and Stork. Top right, going to be our White Terran player. It is Ample. And in the bottom left, it is Stork. Alright, man, so Ample's going to have his hands full with Stork here. He is an elite Protoss player, and Ample is not quite an elite Terran player. So we're going to see who comes out on top here. But if you know my channel, the favored player doesn't always win. There is an upset on my channel over the last week or so. I'm not going to tell you which one it was, but there is an upset there. A very, very distinct upset, okay? Alright, so PvT, Dragoons, Vultures, Spider Mines, Tanks, Goliaths, Observers, Arbiters, Science Vessels, maybe some Carriers. But we'll have to wait and see what's going on in these players' minds, what their plans are. All we know is that it's not a cannon rush, or a proxy barracks, or an engineering bay block. Which, you know, is more popular in TVZ. Throwing up barracks on the low ground here. Interesting place for it. Does kind of prevent Dragoons from wandering in. If you can wall this off, you know, a certain level, Zealots have a hard time as well. If you're worried about that, right? If you're worried about Zealot pressure, which, you know, Zealot and a Dragoon, fairly standard age-old pressure we can see from time to time in PvT. This is an RJB replay. Again, check him out at RJB TV on the YouTube machine. Thank him. Oh, we're next. Look at the disrespect. But thank RJB for sending these replays to me. This is another one that he personally selected. He went on a roll last week and said, this one's good, this one's good, this one's good, this one. He's been right. He's been right about every single one that he's personally sent me on Discord. So look at this disrespect, though, man. Stork's like, you're Ample. You're not light. You're not last. You're not Flash. You're none of those guys. I'm going to go for a Nexus first play. It's a 4-player map, right? So it's not as disrespectful as if it was a 2-player map and you went Nexus first against a Terran. This could be punished. We've seen Idra punish this before, right? You show up, you scout it, you throw down a bunker, you start pumping Marines, and bam, you can pretty much kill the Protoss players straight up that way, or at least get their natural base and be way ahead. So this could be interesting. I really want to see what Ample's response is here. Oh, man. He's making nothing with his barracks. You know what? I think Stork might just get away with this based on the opening here. The probe comes in and says, okay, so there's a Rax done. Definitely indicates that it was probably a Rax expand timing, a Marines in production, and now here's the SCV that says, oh, that Nexus is way further along construction than it should be. Alright, and the Cyber Core is just now getting started. So look at that. So, man, I would do it. Look at this. Sending the Marine across immediately. That's the response. That's the response that we're expecting here from Ample. Look at these Marines. What are they doing? Instead of heading over to try to harass a little bit, they really would rather this probe not see what's going on in Terranville. For whatever reason. Strange. I mean, that's a factory. So yeah, Ample's doing everything normally. Nothing here from Ample is really weird or off-kilter, but, you know, Stork going for a Nexus first. Definitely that. So here comes a Zealot, but I mean, there's 3 Marines here, and if they're microed well, which, you know, they will be. Once again, it doesn't take super crazy elite level micro to deal with this. It just takes good micro, and that's something that Ample has. I'm saying that because he loses one of his Marines almost instantly here. Okay. So that's not good, but another Marine pops out of the barracks to defend the homeland, and then a barracks is coming up. Oh, this is so bad for Ample. This is so bad for Ample, you guys. Like, he's so far behind economically right now. I mean, he's got a decent number of SCVs. He's only down 1 worker that way. But, like, he's got to throw up a bunker. Dragoons are out now. I mean, Stork can just get a 3rd base up, and there's really not much that Ample can do to stop that at all. Not that Terrans normally can in this situation, right? Because Protoss does want to have more bases than their Terran opponent in general. Although, I don't know, like, maybe if you're feeling really confident about your game, like Stork is here, You're like, I don't need a third base. I'm going to beat this sucker with 2 base. I got a Nexus up before his command center really even got started. And I can make a ton of Dragoons, and I can push him and bust him before he gets tanks out. Or, you know, Spider Mines if you're worried about that stuff. Which, I don't know. Machine Shop, quiet. Second Machine Shop coming in here from Ample. So this, we don't see this very often either. This double Machine Shop opening, especially with both Machine Shops being quiet. But I guess we're just making some unsiegeable tanks right away. I guess he can't wait for siege mode or can't wait for spider mines. So we're just going to get a tank out. Yeah, he's worried about the Dragoon range firing in here, right? Yeah, obviously. So he gets a tank out first. He gets a couple tanks out first because obviously that's all he's really doing here. The machine shop, both those machine shops are remaining quiet. I love the SCV scouting this third base location for Stork that doesn't exist yet. That's good. That is good information that Ample has. He says, okay, Stork is going for 2 base stuff. He's got 2 gates. He is going for, looks like Zealot legs, maybe some DTs, I don't know. Robotics facility is done too. And this Warpin's going to be really interesting. And by that I mean, there we go, Templar Archives. So yeah, probably DT. You generally don't see High Templar built this quickly in PvT. So some DT drops could be really problematic. 2 ComSat stations exist though. And blocking this expansion attempt here is this SCV. Amazing. Maybe Ample is kind of punishing this. I don't know, man. I really don't think he is. So Armory's coming in. SCV decides to go home and say, yeah, Stork, if you want this third, you can have it. I'm sending tanks down the right side to get my own third base. If your third base is just starting and mine is just starting, that's good news, right? So Ample's feeling okay. I think the opening spooked him. It spooked me. But I think he's like, okay, you know what? If the Protoss got his third base later, he's probably going for some 2-base shenanigans, which, you know, DTs are on that list of potential 2-base shenanigans. But additionally, wait, did he make any DTs? I was not watching the production tab super closely, but no, actually not happening. Also not getting Psionic Storm. Also, he doesn't need, I mean, he's just now getting upgrades. He's just not getting forges. So I really don't know what that Templar Archives is for. Oh, right. I guess it's just for the Arbiter Tribunal, then. Fair enough. He's just going Arbiter Tribunal here off of, like, 2.5 base. Fine. I don't know. My brain was like, I want some DTs. Let's make some DTs. And Stork was like, no, you dummy. We're just going to make Arbiters, like every Protoss player does in this matchup. Every good one, anyway. That's why turrets are up, because we don't really want to make Goliaths yet. I mean, we're working on Goliaths. But if they aren't out by the time this Arbiter shows up, then we need something. So we're going to make some turrets, right? Right. Yeah, upgrades coming there on the Armory quite nicely. Third base has warped in for Stork. And a third base, you know, just finishing up now quite nicely for Ample. There it is. And there it be, lads. So additional factories from, I mean, what else are you going to do? Nothing. There's nothing else you're going to do from this point in the game. That's what's nice about Protoss is, like, there's no tech switch. There's no crazy something Ample can do here to ruin Stork's day. I mean, maybe go for drops, right? Like, maybe go for some kind of a drop play. Dude, look at this. These Dragoons are willing to sacrifice their lives to take down these tanks. They're very brave soldiers. Most of them are going to die. Yeah, that is 1, 2, 3. It's like 7 Dragoons down for like 3 or 4 tanks. Yeah, maybe it's not cost efficient, but again, you can't be cost efficient versus Terran when they're meching like this. It's just not going to happen. If you do, you'll win handily, but generally it's not going to be that way. So yeah, like, I don't know. Ample could go for drops. He could drop vultures inside, but it's going to be factory tech, right? He's not going to go into battle cruisers. He's not going to start making a bunch of wraiths. He's not going to swap over to making 5 or 6 barracks and start making marines, because those aren't good here either. So again, as Protoss, it's just nice. It's nice at this stage of the game to be like, okay, they're meching. They're going to mech for the rest of the game. There's really not, right? There's really not anything that the Terran can do otherwise. It's cool. So 4th base coming up from Stork in the bottom right here. Observer cruising up, see what's going on. Gonna walk right in, getting scanned, and Goliath out of the air. Charon Boosters is not done yet, nor is it being researched. We've got 2. What are we researching here? Vulture speed and spider mines. Yeah, okay. Fair enough. Fair enough, lads. Dragoons are out. They don't have any upgrades yet. First Arbiter of the day is here, though. Making that super cool Protoss cloaking sound. Actually, all the cloaks sound like this. Like wraiths sound like that when they cloak and they decloak. Apparently, the technology for cloak is just kind of what it is in the StarCraft universe, and whoever's using it, it makes the same sound, whether you're Protoss or whether you are Terran. Spider mines finally just kind of getting run out onto the map here, which a little bit late for Ample. Traditionally, we like to see the spider mines getting laid around, you know, starting as early as 5 minutes here, where you just have, you're running around, spider mines are here and here and here and here and like here, just because, you know. It's pretty good when that happens for a Terran. It really slows down the Protoss movement across the map. Yep, Vulture says, can I get up here? No, there are 4. Definitely 4 pylons. That's not going to work for us. Yeah, upgrades across the board. Zealot legs coming in. I mean, this is going to be pretty darn standard PvT stuff. We'll keep an eye on the production tab for Stork and see if he starts throwing up some Stargates and going for dem carriers or not. It really feels like about a 50-50 situation, right? If the game goes long enough, like if it's a 20-25 minute game, statistically, the odds of the Protoss going carrier is about 50%, I would say. I wouldn't put it much higher than that or much lower than that. Oh, there's some DTs on the way. Okay, so Stork says, I will make some DTs for you, Falcon. But first I needed some Arbiters out, which I can definitely understand. What's going on? Oh, I mean, this is something that the vast majority of you do not care about because it's sports ball, but also it is American college sports ball. So, I mean, that's just not gonna... It's not going to work out for most of you, but college football is finally expanding to a 12-team playoff. For the longest time, there was no playoff, and people voted who the best team in the country was. And then they added a 2-team championship, where they voted who got into the final 2 teams to play each other to see who's the national champion. And then a few years ago, they moved it to a 4-team championship playoff, where it's like, okay... At least we're making baby steps here, so I expected them to go to like a 6-team playoff with buys in the first round or something stupid, but they went all the way to 12. I'm so happy about it. Anyway, that's great news. Here comes Stork, though. Stork says, I don't care about college football. I'm a Korean StarCraft player. Great stasis is up. Zealots mashing their way through here. Can Ample hold on? Yes, Ample does hold on, but some tanks died, and that's the entire point. Keep the tank count lower than 35. If you can do that as a Protoss, you will be happier. So let's see if maybe Ample can get up to a 4th base here. It's going to be tough because Stork's out here with a maxed out Protoss army with +1 attack on those boys. The mecha's sitting here on +1 attack too. They're working on +1 armor and +2 vehicle weapons. Psionic Storm is on the way here too. There's just, and look, we're seeding spider mines all over the place. So finding a place for DTs to get some work done here, gonna be dicey. Maybe they're more for, I was gonna say, maybe more for defensive reasons. Oh, actually, these are Zealots in this shuttle. They're Zealot bombs, they're not DTs. See if we can find the Dark Templar that are on the map right now, because we saw some be produced. I don't know where they went, but here we go again. Nice concave set up here. Great stasis. Oh, man. And then the Zealot bombs. Ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-bum. Getting all up into there. Tanks down, tanks down. Zealots fighting against your Vultures. Getting eliminated because, you know, Zealots fighting against Vultures is not good for them. Crikey, mate. So, once again, Ample holds on, loses several siege tanks. This is just Stork doing what Protoss does. He's got a 4th base. He's got a 5th base. Ample doesn't feel comfortable enough to really go for a 4th base here. And I'd be shocked if he started one in the next 2, 3, 4 minutes. That Observer survives several Goliath shots and just parks itself right here, beautifully scouting the entirety of Ample's army, which is hilarious. There's your science facility. Science vessels are on the way. And I think we saw EMP getting researched in this game, didn't we? I don't know. Sometimes my PVTs run together in my brain, and I'm like, I saw EMP getting researched, and it's like, well, was that the PVT you cast yesterday? Maybe it was. I don't know, man. Anywho, Ample's at 179 supply, which isn't maxed out, but gosh darn if it isn't close enough. +2 attack, +1 armor on these meching dudes. The gateway units have +2 attack and no armor. With +1 armor coming in, though, some Protoss don't bother with armor against Terran just because the tanks are hitting so hard. Having an extra, like, 1 armor just doesn't really matter all that much. You know, you're still just getting blasted if you're a Dragoon and a tank is attacking you. But better against, you know, Goliaths and Vultures to a certain extent, so not bad. Not bad at all. Get on them before they're unsieged, or before they're sieged while they're unsieged there. Tanks do siege up, and I don't know, trading out against Vultures is not really going to do it here. That was not a great engagement for Stork. He wanted to get on those tanks, but the Vulture count was too heavy and too upgradey, right? He's got the +2 attack here. Delicious stuff. Who's expanding top left? Stork certainly is. Stork's like, yo, man, what's up? Let's take that 4th base. Let's make everything just be Protoss resource intensive right now. There's a base. Ample did manage to take one, a 4th at the 12 o'clock, which got scouted. But, you know, worse things than getting scouted when you're trying to expand, I guess. Could also, I don't know, drop your ice cream on the floor. That's not good. Yeah, this is not exactly intended to win here from Stork, but it is definitely killing a whole bunch of tanks. A whole caboodle of them, and how many of them got stasis in this group? At least 5. Maybe even, oh, I don't know, reinforcements from Stork here. He's not that far from his base, but guess what? Ample doing the gosh darn same thing here. Tank down. I mean, how many tanks have died here? A lot. How many Dragoons have died here? A lot. The Dragoons very bravely sacrificing themselves in order to make sure the tank count is lower so that the Protoss may survive. I'm really shocked that we really haven't seen any attempt to kill this 4th base by Stork by now. I thought he would have sent like a shuttle up or something. Ooh, some free high temp. No, the scans. Oh, he's wandering out of scan range though. So he's dead. He's got 1 kill before he gets obliterated. 169, 170 to 128 supply now in favor of Stork. He's been able to remax here quite nicely. More DTs on the way. What have they been used for, would be my question. I guess maybe this is Stork being like, you know what, Ample can have this base. He hasn't really come close to threatening any of my bases today. And maybe this position is the beginning of the end for the bottom right, because that's how Terran kills you. They set up, and then 4 minutes later, your bases are gone. Whereas with Protoss and, you know, with Zerg, they have fast, mobile armies. They don't hit as hard, but they're fast and mobile, and they will just wander in and kill your base and get out of there before 20 seconds has elapsed. Ah, here it is. Okay, getting a DT into this base. Ooh, missile turret finishes just in the nick of time there. But missile turret dies to the DT because DT swipes are mighty. And look, another scan's going to come in, and this DT is going to die, but you know, got some work done. Force these Vultures to pull back, kind of leaving some of these tanks exposed. Hey! That was a good play. Oh, yeah, that's fantastic. So the Vultures do come back because they're fast. But, you know, for a minute there, the Vultures were gone and the tanks were scared and they were pulling back. So Ample hangs on to the 4th base, but I mean, this is just a lot of stuff that's happening here. Oh, here we go. Slow death of the top left by 3 siege tanks. Neat. Honestly, send like 4 zealots over there. You could wipe this out. Honestly, losing this Stork, you're very casual about it. But I guess he's worried maybe about him abandoning this position will lead to the death of his 3rd. But the newer source of income is up here. And where is this DT going? Wander in and kill these tanks. At least force them to unsiege. Oh, this doesn't matter. Now there's a bunch of Vultures coming in to support the tanks. The top left base is dead. And yeah, so Stork's cool with this. Look, he's got bottom right. He's got 2 bases bottom right now. He's on 5 base. He was on, well, 5 for a minute there. I don't know, he's continuing to make probes at this base. Seems a little dicey from Stork here. Recall. Does he have a he's really setting up these workers like he's got recall. He's clumping them together like that. Look at this. Ample taking bottom. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. Upsets happen in StarCraft. I cannot believe these Vultures did not come over here and wipe this out. I really can't. All right, another engagement right side, though. Stork pushing in. Getting rid of the 3rd base for Ample would be pretty good. I don't know. The storms are good. Nice, beautiful couple storms there. Oh, 3 tanks go down to that. Arbiter's wandering in. Big army left side. Big army bottom side here. 2 great stasis. Stork, any elite Protoss. If your stasises aren't good, I don't know why you're playing StarCraft, right? Great storms, too. Stormy with a chance of electricity and death. But once again, Ample's able to hold on. He's only down about 20 supply here, maybe 30 supply. His macro has been really good here. And what did I tell you? What did we talk about? Just because one player's favored, right? It doesn't mean that they're going to win. So let's see if Ample can hang on here, shall we? Kind of trying to free those probes at the top left. I don't know about that. Ooh, getting an Archon into a mineral line is not bad. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. 5 kills. Doing some work there for sure. And then the Protoss is like, we'll come up here, thanks. I still can't believe that these probes are alive. That's nuts to me. This is a great game. And this is a recall into the 12 o'clock that is being defended by 2 tanks and a vulture. So that's not really going to be enough to save it here. 1 spider mine laid, and there's the recall. Recola. Yeah, the tank siege up. Oh, spider mine helps with it. These dragoons, yeah. Tanks down, vultures responding. That's not enough to stop this at all. SCV count is getting obliterated. 43 to 79 workers in favor of the Protoss here. A couple more tanks come in, but these SCVs are getting targeted directly right now. I guess it maybe doesn't even really matter. Nice snipe on that science vessel, though. Forcing scans out because there's an arbiter on the field. And here we go. Tank's dead. Yeah, that's it. I think this might be it. 1 really solid recall. Artosis somewhere is very upset about this. It's like, man, Apple is playing so well, and then 1 stupid recall at his source of income. Enough to knock him down to 45 SCVs and hurt him economically so bad. Top left, though. I don't know. Apple's got a base here. So this, you know, his 3rd base is mining out. I thought his 4th base dying. Well, taking some hits would be the worst thing in the world, but you know, he's got this base. He really doesn't have enough workers to saturate, you know, 4 or 5 bases anyway right now. So, not the worst. Not the worst at all. Stork coming back maxed out, though. I don't know about this from Ample. This is Stork just enjoying his economic privilege right now. Tank down, not bothering to stasis these tanks on the right side. This group, though, very, very much to be stasis. Maybe after the storm doesn't kill them. Dude, these High Templar are cloaked, baby. Just kidding, not cloaked anymore. Killed with extreme prejudice. Okay, so 124 to 95 supply. Once again, Stork losing a ton of stuff to try to break pretty much the entirety of the army of Ample here, which turns out didn't work super well. 11 zealots on the way. But it's 162 to 103 supply. I do not see a future here. Well, spider mine connections, that's right. Doesn't kill anything, but, you know, weakening and bruising up some zealots never did anyone no harm. Kaderan Amulet, Kaderan Core, Arbiters, and High Templar getting energy, maximum upgrades. You know how those work if you're a Brood War fan. Hit that like button, by the way, if you're enjoying this. This has been great. This has been really, really good. Yeah, if you're a PvT fan, I know I don't post those all the time, but I did have a really fun one with Brain and last week. So if you're interested in maybe Light, I get them confused. They're both really elite Terran players. And their names start with L, and they're 1 syllable, so my brain's like, I don't know, Light and Ladder is the same dude, basically. In PvT, yeah, especially they are, right? Pushing in again. I mean, Stork has just been throwing himself on the rocks. He's like a wave beating against the shore. The first few waves don't do anything, but once you've done waves crashing onto the shore for a few 100 million years, you will see changes, and that's what's happening here. He's just slowly creeping further and further ahead in total supply here. Maybe he's got a nice beeline to this 12 o'clock if he wants it, but a couple tanks responding. Stork not quite interested in heading up that way. Stork taking this top left. Oh, a DT comes down. Oh, well, the Zealot's coming from the other side. That's good. That is some really nice double-pronged aggression there. Great stasis on these three tanks. The single missile turret pulls the Arbiters back, obviously. But yeah, if this base is dying and the 12 o'clock is threatened and the third base is mining out, not looking good. Not looking great here for Ample. It's kind of falling apart on him in short order. Yeah, this base is dead. The newest source of income for Ample is being removed here. Yeah, a few tanks have shown up. A little bit of repair happening. Okay. All right. Look. Ample's alive. That's all we're asking for him right now, is to be alive. Ah, but no, not enough to save this base. And if Ample's on one mining base, against Stork on 1, 2, 3, 4 mining bases, no. The economics are not working at all. Ample is all turtling up at this one base that he's got that has any minerals at it that he's mining from at all. And he's like, all right, well, maybe Stork will try to come up this ramp with everything he's got and lose it 3 or 4 times. Maybe 5 or 6 times, and then maybe I can win? Yeah, I guess if Stork really just tried to throw himself into your tanks 87 times in a row, you could beat him. Just by making a whole bunch of good trades. Amazing, perfect trades, right? Over and over again. This is not something that Stork is going to do because Stork is Stork. Little vulture harass up at the top left here. It's fine. Again, this is a base that Stork can afford to lose, and this Dragoon's clearing him out anyway. Whoa! Just kind of walking in here. Just like going right into the natural base is Stork. He's like, yeah, you're going to be defending that base of income, so I'm just going to wander into your front door. Try to kill a bunch of your workers, get on top of your production, you know, really good stuff like that. Comsat station down, command center gonna follow. Stasising the ramp prevents help from getting down the ramp for Ample, but Stork also can't get up the ramp, which is dicey. It's a real dicey thing here. I don't know. Ample's done, right? Maxed out versus a 76 supply. Ample here is, I mean, he played well. He really did. But like I said at the start of the match, Stork is one of the elite Protoss players in the world. Oh, little baby recall right onto this little tank drop. Tank attack, left side. Tank down, tank. This is going to be it. Tank down, tank down, tank down. And the Ample is really intent on dragging this out a little bit, isn't he? I respect it. I respect what he's going for here. Maybe Stork will screw up big time. Nope. GG. Ample taps out. Stork is your winner. Ka-chow. 28 minutes. And Stork, this is the recipe. Expand 100 times. Trade out tanks for Dragoons over and over and over again. And sometimes it'll look bad. It will. Sometimes you'll get in there. You'll lose 7 to 8 Dragoons and maybe kill 3 tanks and say, was that worth it? Yes. Yes, it was. You kill tanks like that over and over again and really keep the Terran from getting up to a scary tank count. Recall on them a couple times. Go for those recalls, right? Be prepared to deal with little vulture run-bys too. Like, make sure you've got cannons at every one of your bases. See, doesn't skimp on those, because if vultures show up and there's nothing to stop them, they will wipe out your probe lane in seconds. So this is everything. This is it. Great stasises. The spellcasting was insane. It was much better, I think, than the Terran spell casting. I don't know if I caught a single EMP there, but you know, sometimes that happens. All right, 305,000 points there from Stork, 256 for Ample. Dun, 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 dun. Overall, the kill-death ratios here are, you know, they're favoring Ample. Yeah, he produced more, but the kill-death here, yeah, Stork killed more stuff than Ample did, so that's not going to work out, my friend. Not at all. Resources, a full 27,000 resources spent more by the Protoss player, and boy, howdy, that's a lot. It's a lot of stuff. All right, good. So that's going to be it for me today. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw, what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.